Hi everyone! So this is my follow-up video to the Titanic Shipwreck pieces that I had shown in the previous video using embossing folders. And here are some of those pieces, and I will link to that video below. So as you can see, nice detail comes out and you can really get this feeling of something old that's been at the bottom of the ocean and may have chipped off over time. And this is one of the embossing folders. This one is the medallion set, and another thing that I used is this Prima stamp, and I believe it's called Mausoleum. And I made a mold of it so that I could press polymer clay into it. This was made with the amazing mold putty. Very easy. You just blend up your mold putty basically like you would polymer clay, and there's parts A and B. You mix them together, and then you have about a minute's worth of working. Press your stamp in, and the awesome thing is that these are ready in about 20 to 30 minutes, so you can use them almost right away. And so far I have found them to be really high quality, and they don't tend to let the clay stick to them, so once you're ready to pop out your clay, it comes away very easily. And you can also bake your polymer clay right into these, and that will ensure that you get an even crisper and more symmetrical look, because as you probably know, if you work with polymer clay, it can get distorted pretty easily, especially if you're working with intricate designs. So I'll just show you a few of these that I made. Now these are not baked yet, but these are the most symmetrical ones that I was able to get, and a couple of them I actually ended up just reblending and making other things out of them because they did get quite distorted. This one's probably the most square, sort of perfect piece that came out. This one got a little bit distorted, but I think it's workable because I'm going to round the edges. And so I'm just going to show you this quick tutorial of using the embossing folder with some polymer clay. Okay, so I just took off some of the silver clay. This is from the Sculpey Primo multi-pack that I have bought, and they come in approximately 1 ounce chunks, like so. And some of the remaining colors I have left, and I also used the same pack to make these guys. So you do get a couple of metallics. You get this sort of gold bronze color, and then the silver that I'm going to be working with. And I thought the silver would be nice to make an old looking piece. And then you can also use brighter colors or more muted colors, and you can always use techniques to make them look more distressed. So right now I'm just going to condition my clay. And since this can take up to 5 minutes, I'm just going to go into speed frame. Tricks is to just roll it into a nice symmetrical ball, then find the place that you want to mold. So I'm just going to choose this section, and I use these cling stamp blocks, the acrylic blocks made for clear stamps, because you can get a really nice round shape. And then of course you can always cut it to the way you like once it's finished. So there's some of our shape. Now this would make a nice pendant. To give you the shipwreck effect, I'm just going to show you. And I'm going to put a little index card underneath because I don't want to cut my working mat. I'm going to take out my good old X-Acto knife and just start to carve away in whatever shape you like. And of course it doesn't have to be perfect because the idea is that these have been underwater for a long time, and so they definitely would look distressed. And now I'm just rounding off this clay so it doesn't have such a flat edge. And I'll take out a chunk here. Okay, so now you have a couple of options. One of the things that I had shown in the previous video is to use some Inca Gold, and this is a beeswax based paint, and you can use this before you bake. It's best to use it before you bake because then the Inca Gold will seal completely on the clay and it won't come off. Another option is to go ahead and bake the clay and then use whatever kind of paints and things you like afterwards and give it a distressed look. And I think this time I am going to try baking before painting, since I have already shown what you can do with the Inca Gold. And you can actually get some pretty similar effects if you just go ahead and bake the clay and then paint it with either metallic paint, or you could use a glaze acrylic, something with gloss in it, or you can give it a matte sort of chalky finish, which I think would be great if you want to go for a patina look, because then it's going to look definitely aged, and you can get some awesome effects from that, from dabbing down paint and then rubbing some of it away. So I'll go ahead and bake this piece. Okay, so now our silver piece has been baked, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to add mixing in different colors until you get what you like. And to do this effect, kind of that's not super soft, has more like a bristly feel, and you'll see what I mean in a second. Our patina effect is by getting into all those little nooks and crannies, because some of this is going to get wiped away. And go around the edges. Essential tool. I use baby wipes for this. Doesn't have to be Snoopy, haha. You could also use a paper towel, but I have noticed that I get the best results with the baby wipes. And you're just going to lightly buff and kind of turn the baby wipe so that you get a clean surface. Turn again. And I'm going to turn one more time and just dab. Okay, and then you can just do a little check around the edges. And I'm just going to take some paint off of the back, which isn't necessary, but I just feel like doing that. Give it a nice clean back. And then take a look at it and see if you want more or less of the patina. I think I want just a tad bit less in here. So I'm just going to use my fingernail a little bit in the baby wipe to get into some of the little nooks. So while that other piece is setting out to dry, which doesn't take long at all, I just wanted to quickly show you the Inca Gold effect with these pieces that I had shown earlier in the video, and now they're baked. And I baked them according to the instructions, which was 15 minutes at 275 Fahrenheit. And now I'm just going to go in with some copper, Inca Gold, okay, get into the corner a little bit there. You can go around the sides if you want. And then I will show you just to give you another color. I'm going to use this piece and use some Inca Gold in gold. You can see how it really picks up the detail very nicely. Okay, so when you're happy with how it came out, you have two options. You can put this in the oven to cure a little bit longer for say 10 minutes at 275 to make sure that the Inca Gold really gets baked in and then it will not brush off. You could also just go ahead and seal it with a finish, and that will keep the Inca Gold on there. So lots of possibilities, but anyway, I hope you have found this entertaining and helpful, and please give it a like. I'd love to hear any comments, and would love if you subscribed if you haven't already. Okay, thanks so much.